Well, hello and welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and tonight we have a conflicting point of view about what happened last night in the Super Bowl with this ad with Victoria and David Beckham. What was the group I was in called again, David Beckham? Was it the Saffron Squad? Or maybe it was the Nutmeg Maidens? This was an ad for Uber Eats, and the premise is that you can forget anything, but if you forget food or snacks, well, they are there to help. So the main topic of the ad was forgetting things. Obviously, she was talking about the Spice Girls, that group I was in called. But what I personally noticed at first sight, and I don't know if this was some kind of unconscious bias from my side, is that the options are Saffron Squad, which sounds a lot like Sugar Squad, or maybe it was the Nutmeg Maidens, and you know that nutmeg is a term closely related to the Duchess of Sausages. So I really wanted to know if you think this is some kind of a coincidence. Also, some of you also noted that Victoria is wearing a shirt that reads David's wife. Of course, it can also mean that David can't forget that she's his wife, so she's wearing a shirt to help him with that. But it can also be a reference to the fact that someone else became actually someone when she married a guy and not before. Now, of course, maybe I am reading too much into that. Some of you have mentioned that if they are making this kind of reference, if they are dissing the Montecito morons this way, that is giving them too much importance. We're talking about Victoria and David Beckham. They are the legends on their own, and they got all the fame they need. So I don't think they need to be making any kind of reference to the Duchess of Sussex just to make a joke stick. But again, Saffron Squad, Nutmeg Maidens. I don't know what to tell you, but that was not the only Super Bowl commercial that took advantage of something related to Meghan. And we also got this product that used all the setup of Judge Judy. In this case, it's Judge Beauty. And it invited three of the original cast from Suits to join. But it seems that they still don't have Meghan's number. But maybe this makes the absence of the Duchess of Sausages even more noticeable at the Super Bowl. But it doesn't matter because everyone was talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce either way. But let's keep talking about humor. And this is another take that was quite controversial for me, at least, in my opinion. Brett Goodfeldt on his show mentioned that King Charles III is diagnosed with cancer. And he also said that that cancer has been growing for 8 years. And of course, made a reference to Meghan, not in a subtle way, because he included a photo of her, implying that Meghan was the cancer. And I don't know if it's my style of humor. I mean, everyone has the right to. Everyone is entitled to their own style of humor. But I think it was a bit over the top. But it was over the top. Cancer is a big deal. And even if I don't discard comparing certain people, both alive and deceased, compare them to cancer, Meghan is not in that short list, especially as a joke. I don't know, maybe it is my humor style, which I was thought that is more like British humor. Mine is not Venezuelan humor or American humor. I've always liked British humor, but talking about British humor, we remember that joke from Jeremy Clarkson on his column. Jeremy Clarkson slammed for wishing Meghan Markle meets a misogynistic Game of Thrones fate. Well, it was not misogynistic. It was just a scene from Game of Thrones. The problem is that Clarkson's punchline depended on people having watched the show. And many people did not watch the show, and even some of you watched the show, but you did not remember the scene that he was talking about. Now, some of you have claimed on Twitter that Goodfeldt's reference was completely on point, and I respect your opinion. I'm just saying that that is not a joke that I would make. In other news, Amazon withdraws books about King Charles' cancer amid concerns that were written by AI. And whether they were written by artificial intelligence or not, it is disgusting that people try to make money out of someone's illness. And in this case, there were books that could have been written in 20 minutes with the aid of artificial intelligence. This is very dangerous territory because A lot of people are really gullible and they're just going to read those books and accept them at face value. Or at least say, well, maybe parts of this is true. Who knows? That is how evil gossip spreads. And it's interesting that Buckingham Palace decided to act on these fake stories and fake books. It means that when they consider something an actual threat, they will act. Now, there's another joke I want to talk about. This was something that I found laughable. Meghan Markle ready to join peace pact with Prince Harry to end family feud. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are ready to agree to a ceasefire after King Charles' recent cancer diagnosis. I'm going to tell you why all this is just plain nonsense. They say the Duchess of Sussex has already agreed to a ceasefire for a planned biography that will refrain from further attacks and bombshell revelations about her husband's royal relatives. This is bollocks because this is just Meghan trying to make it seem like she's got some kind of power over the royal family and she's refraining from using that massive power that in fact she doesn't have. Does that make sense? I'm going to give you a better example. I, the royal rogue, I'm going to publish a statement that I will not be invading Buckingham Palace. The royal rogue is going to spare Buckingham Palace from any invasions in the near future. I'm so magnanimous that I will not send my troops to invade those grounds. How about that? How great, how courageous, how kind is this royal rogue? No, that is nonsense because everybody knows that I don't have the manpower or firepower or tank power or any power to invade Buckingham Palace. But I could issue a statement and make it seem like I have that power. But that's this kind of a statement that Meghan will not be writing further attacks on the royal family because she is so kind. She has understood that it is not worth it to keep attacking the royal family. No, that's what she wants you to think. That's all. And this is another headline that can be a double-edged sword. GB News. King Charles encouraged Prince William to put family before royal duties. Look after your wife. And of course, this has been claimed by a royal expert. This is not official in any way. This is completely made up. And this is a double-edged sword. It makes sense, right? It makes sense to put family before royal duties. That might be something that King Charles would say. But that is not something that he would say publicly. Why? Because from now on, the moment that you see William at a formal or royal engagement, then people would say, hey, he's putting royal duties before his family. How dare him? He doesn't want to be with his family. Why is he in royal engagements if the king encouraged him to put family before royal duties? And of course, if Prince William doesn't appear in royal engagements, people are going to say that he is irresponsible or lazy and doesn't deserve to be the next monarch or whatever. So this is some kind of indirect gaslighting. It makes sense at first sight, but when you think about it, it has implications that, well, we'll let the sausage squad attack William whenever he is in royal engagements. The truth is, and this is complete speculation on my part, and William already knows that delicate balance between family and royal duties. And yes, Catherine needs him right now. And yes, his kids need him right now, and he's well aware of that. So, my royal rogues, I would love to know what do you think about this in the comments. And remember to download my free 100 body language tips right in the description of this video if you want to read anyone like a book. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. Much love and bliss.